We'll attend a vintage Valentine's Day tea.
We'll meet some Uber fans at ComicCon Fan Days.
And we'll explore the exhibit Art, a Profound Impact.
All this and more coming up About Town.
Hello everyone and welcome to About Town. I'm Kevin Caskey.
And I'm Kathy Whiteman, and I am truly thrilled to have Kevin Caskey and The Voice joining me again in the co-host seat. So we haven't seen you in a while, Kevin. What's been taking up your time?
Well, besides work, I'm still performing with the Christian Wrestling Federation. As a matter of fact, over the last couple of months, we've done several shows in Irving.
All right.
Just a different way to find the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ through professional wrestling.
Well,
you want to find out more? Come see a show. We'll keep you posted when we've got another one coming up in Irving.
All righty, I like that, Kevin, and we're very glad that you could join us for our visit with Dr. Jose Parra about the 2015 ICE Awards, and we'll get the details on the great events the Irving Black Arts Council has planned in celebration of African American History Month.
And Susan Kamyab takes us inside the movies with an interview with Academy Award-winning director Kevin MacDonald about his new adventure thriller, Black Sea.
As always, we invite you to email us and let us know about stories you'd like to see and events you'd like to promote.
So please email us at ictn@cityofirving.org.
The Irving Heritage Society kicked off 2015 with one of its most cherished traditions, the annual Vintage Valentines Tea. Here are some highlights from this sweetheart of an event.
Happy Valentine's Day!
Happy Valentine's Day!
Happy Valentine's Day!
Happy Valentine's Day!
It was standing room only at the Irving Heritage House for the annual Vintage Valentine's Tea.
The Valentine Tea began the first year that we were formed in 1978.
But the history of the tea goes back much earlier.
It's one of the first recorded Valentine's parties here in the area. It was, I think, 1914. Last year was his 100th birthday.
Like the 1914 tea, this event is not to be missed.
We always have a packed house, so they must really enjoy seeing the house and the refreshments.
We always decorate it in a sort of vintage fashion, and there's lots of homemade goodies to enjoy from the old recipes from years back.
I think it's a tradition. It's just a very sentimental time, and you see friends, old friends, new friends. It's a reunion of sorts.
It kind of matches so well with this time of year, Valentine's.
Yes, a kind of a walk back into history for a little bit.
Right, it certainly is.
Well, along with the history and tradition, there's always the announcement of the Valentine Sweetheart.
Today, the Irving Heritage Society is pleased to announce that Regina Story is our 2015 Valentine's Sweetheart.
Former Heritage Society President Regina Story was surprised and thrilled to be selected this year's sweetheart.
I'm just overwhelmed. I'm so pleased I don't even have words. Imagine that, for me not to have words.
Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you.
The sweetest words of all might have come from Regina's own Valentine, George.
Happy Valentine's Day, sweetie pie.
Good friends, good food, and a cherished hometown tradition. What could make Valentine's Day any better? This is Kathy Whiteman reporting.
And we love her so.
Up next for the Irving Heritage Society, the 11th annual Fish Fry and Cake Auction, Friday, April 1st at 5 p.m. in Heritage Park. Visit irvingheritage.com for more information.
If you're a fan of comics, sci-fi, fantasy, horror, or anime, chances are you were on the scene at ComicCon Fan Days at the Irving Convention Center. If not, Susan Kamyab has some highlights of this year's Ultimate Fan Expo.
ComicCon Fan Days was packed more than ever this year, as people waited in long lines for celebrity autographs and the chance to purchase exclusive merchandise.
So far it's pretty good. It's a little more crowded than we thought it would be, but it's nice.
It's crowded, yeah, it's super crowded.
This is madness!
With guests like the stars of Arrow and The Walking Dead, It's no wonder why there was such a massive size in attendance. The younger fan base was eager to meet and take photos with some enthusiastic Power Rangers. We even got a chance to sit down and speak with the stars.
Hi, I'm Alex Hartman. I played Jaden, the Red Power Ranger on Power Ranger Samurai. Jaden's a pretty quiet guy. He's a man of few words. He's the strong, silent type.
Wow, you're like a really good actor then, huh?
I'm so good at this. I'm so good at not talking, guys.
I'm Azim Risk. I play the Black and Green Ranger on Megaforce. And Jake is a huge talker. Doesn't ever stop talking, actually, and plays a lot of sports.
You play both the Black and Green?
Black and Green. Don't ask me how I changed colors either, because there's...
He thinks he's so fancy because he gets 2 colors. Well, I led the team.
Actually, it's 3 colors, because I'm purple, too.
For Alex and Azim, conventions like these continue to be meaningful and memorable experiences.
We just have so much fun. We continue to come to them because every time it's just the best time ever.
Yeah, no kidding. There's always that. We just had an experience a little earlier. It was 5 or 6, something like that. And his mom goes, "What time is it?" "It's morphin' time!" Oh my gosh, we lost it. It was so cute.
And they are both aware that playing these characters allows them to inspire and mold a lot of young minds.
You know, it's a huge responsibility, but we've both done work for the Make-A-Wish Foundation and several other charities, and you just get a lot of rewarding experiences, you know.
Yeah, especially like growing up as a fan of the show as well. I know the influence that it had on me as a child, and if I had been able to meet a Power Ranger and I would have held on to everything that they say. So I always try to keep that in mind whenever we're talking to little kids and doing interviews and stuff. It's like, these are your heroes as a child, and so it really kind of morphs the way that you grow and look at the world. So it's pretty powerful, right? See how I threw that in there? Got it! But yeah, it's a great experience.
Of course, actors aren't the only celebs that make an appearance. The artists behind some of your favorite comic books come out to share their work and meet their fans.
They're always so gracious and great. It never ceases to amaze me when I meet people that bring a huge stack of my books and want me to sign them. I'm like, I can't believe you spent all your money to buy all that. It's just great.
Though it's a Fan Days event, the celebrities always seem to be having just as much fun. For About Town, this is Susan Kamyab reporting.
Up next at the Irving Convention Center, Ticket Stock 2015, presented by Sports Radio 1310, The Ticket. That's February 20th and 21st, and you can visit irvingconventioncenter.com for more information.
The Irving Celebration of Excellence, better known as the ICE Awards, is now in its 15th year. I have the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Jose Parra, superintendent of the Irving ISD, to talk a little bit about this year's event. Welcome. Good to see you again.
Oh, it's my pleasure being here. It's always a great treat to visit with you, Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Parra. I will tell you that in my several years now of knowing about the ICE Awards, I'm always so glad to see this event come around, and I am always so surprised at what you guys come up with to celebrate. Talk to me about why you guys are doing this event.
Well, I think it comes back to there's a tremendous number of good things that happen in a school district every day, and Irving ISD is no exception. We have just phenomenal kids, great staff members, and a wonderful community that really supports us moving forward to achieve excellence. So the Irving Celebration of Excellence is aptly named. We truly are celebrating the excellence that occurs in our school district all day, every day, throughout the year.
It's always such a pleasure. I've had the honor of emceeing the event a couple of times, and to hear of this variety of programs, because you don't just celebrate academic excellence, you also acknowledge the other kinds of excellence that you want to promote in the school district. Can you talk a little bit about what those other categories are?
Sure. There are basically 7 categories that we recognize during this ICE Awards time. And those range from things like math and science, things like that, a little bit more academic in nature, all the way over to parental involvement activities. And so from those 7 categories, then we have 3 categories within those, okay? And so we have an elementary, early childhood category, we have middle schools category, and we have a high schools category. So as you can see, if you have 3 of those in each category, you end up with 21 possible award winners. We honor the 1, 2, and 3, if you will. The silver award winners receive a nice award as well as $1,000. The second place receives a silver medallion as well as $700. And then the third place receives a bronze medallion and then $300. So it's a wonderful thing. And then from that, we also recognize the best in-show category, if you will. And that's another $5,000 award as well as a wonderful crystal award that they're able to prominently display in the campus.
On the campus. And so in addition to bragging rights, then the school also has additional money to help with different programs and things that are going on. And I will tell you, in my experience, there's nobody like a teacher to stretch a dollar. What you can do with $1,000 on the right campus is a wonderful thing.
It's an amazing thing. It's like the fishes and the loaves. You know, they take that $300 or whatever it might be, and then all of a sudden it looks like $1,000.
Absolutely.
So it's a phenomenal job that our staff members do to really stretch those funds. And it's a wonderful thing that our community does to invest in this whole process that we call the ICE Awards.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited to be a part of it again this year. And so the public is invited to attend, and it's a great way to find out what wonderful things are going on in the school district. Yeah.
Correct.
So folks, if you would like to be a part of finding out all the great things that are going on as Irving celebrates excellence in its schools, take a look at visiting Irving High School on February 19th. There's a reception at 6 o'clock, and I believe the awards start at 7.
Correct. This will be the 4th year that you're hosting this for us, and so we thank you again for that. Can I make one more plug for our school district?
Absolutely.
You may not have heard this, but we were named the 2015 National Advanced Placement School District of the Year.
Wow.
And so that's for the nation. So I don't want anybody to lose sight of that as well.
I think that's a real important thing to say. That's celebrating excellence, absolutely. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
And pleasure to see you, and we'll see you on the 19th.
Thanks so much.
Back to you, Kevin.
The adventure thriller Black Sea stars Jude Law as a rogue submarine captain out to find sunken treasure. Susan Kamyab talked with Academy Award-winning director Kevin MacDonald about what lurks at the bottom of the sea.
I've been working on submarines for nearly 30 years. I lost my family to this job.
We've got to let you go. All of you.
I don't have to take this. I know ways to get money. It needs you, Robinson. It needs a man like you. Last year, I went out to the Black Sea. We found something. One of Hitler's U-boats is just sitting on the seabed, full of gold. I need men, half British, half Russian. Reynolds, Peters, Tobin. He's just a boy. Fraser. He's a liability. He's an incredible diver. How much gold we talking? $182 million. Equal share, every man.
Besides the fear of like being at the bottom of the ocean, these men are also kind of thinking about this money that they're about to find, and some of them aren't too happy with the fact that they have to do the even split, even though it'd still be plenty of money. But what do you think it is about money that changes people and can make them act in like psychotic ways?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's at the center of this movie is sort of what greed can do to people. And it's not so much even what money can do to people, because it's not kind of anti-money, this film, it's sort of anti-greed, I suppose.
Yeah.
And it's the idea that people, instead of realizing when you've got enough, it's like, I always want more, I want more and more. And that's a kind of part of human nature, and a kind of dark part of human nature, isn't it? So in this movie, they go looking for Nazi gold.
Yeah.
And there's something, obviously, that the fact that it's Nazi gold, which means it's tainted already. It's kind of evil money. It should, that money shouldn't really, nobody should spend that money.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's the positive and the negative of human nature, both present in this extreme circumstance.
We're ready.
Closing!
It's so unfair that they get the same as us. Your girlfriend's pregnant. Don't you worry. You'll be going home a rich man.
And this was probably one of my favorite roles to see Jude Law in as Robinson, just because I really felt for his character. Because especially with him losing his family to his job, because I think in any work you do, you can get wrapped up in it and kind of lose sight of the ones you love.
I think that's the sort of the central theme, I suppose, and it's a very simple one, really, of this movie, is that we all kind of think that our jobs are so important, that we only get respect from other people because of whether we're successful in our jobs and all these sort of things, and the pressure that there is to be successful and to earn money. But that actually, when all's said and done, that's not what's important about life. And at the end of our lives, none of us are going to think, oh, I wish I'd spent more time at the office.
Right.
We're going to think, I wish I'd spent more time with my family. I wish I'd loved that person more. I wish I'd made that relationship work. Those are the things that you got to think about. And I guess that's what's fundamentally at the heart of this movie.
Outside, it's just dark, cold death. What happens when one of them starts to figure out that their share gets bigger and there is less people to share it with?
And I mean, for me, the moment they did like enter the water, I was on the edge of my seat. I was just terrified the whole time. So is there another film for you that has given you that same excitement while watching?
Well, I think that, we mentioned Gravity. I mean, I think Gravity has that feeling for me.
Yeah.
Pretty much as soon as the movie starts and you're in this precarious situation, spacewalking with Sandra Bullock, you're terrified. And you've got vertigo, and so I think this is kind of the underwater version of that.
Yeah, it gave me the same effect actually, because I struggled to breathe in both those films. That's exactly what that was.
So there's a good recommendation. If you want to struggle to breathe, go and see this movie.
Go see Black Sea. Exactly.
5, 4, 3.
Turn! Robinson! You just want to live now. Can we just live?
We're gonna take them down one by one.
Shit! Don't close that door!
Black Sea is currently playing at theaters throughout the Metroplex. For more of Susan's reviews, visit thischicksflix.com.
The Irving Black Arts Council kicked off the annual celebration of African American History Month with an excellent art exhibit, but there's even more to come. Lenita Johnson and Sharmisa Garner join me with the details. Ladies, it is a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. So, Lenita, you're the newly elected president, you have a lot of duties these days.
And I'm excited about it.
And one of the duties was putting together this year's African American History program, and it's always in partnership with the City of Irving. So what did you guys decide to do this year?
Oh my gosh, this year we have decided to go back and start back working with the kids. We've always worked with the youth, but this year really concentrate on them to do a lot in the program. So I think it's a Black culture, a profound impact. So we're really looking at the culture and all of that, but this year's program, I think it's a family affair. I think everybody's invited. It's a great way to spend a Sunday afternoon right here in Irving without having to drive to Dallas and pay parking.
Absolutely, that's great. And one of the things that I really love that you guys do is that you find local talent and sort of put the spotlight on them, and that's certainly been the case with you, Sharmisa. I was really glad to know about you and find out that you're both a playwright and an actress. So kind of give me an idea of what you've written for the students to perform this year.
Well, this year, I kind of wanted to play on the Black culture and the movement of African Americans generally within the United States as well as all across the world.
Wow.
So using the kids from all over Irving, what we've done is basically combined old culture with new school culture and kind of made a twist on really just wisdom and style.
Wow, I love that. I love that. So you, like when you said it was for the whole family, it really is.
It really is a family affair.
Yeah, that is fantastic. So I know that you mentioned earlier that the theme nationally is Black, a celebration
of Black life, history, and culture.
And so you guys are focusing on the culture, as you focused on art in the art exhibit. Nice tie-in, I have to say. I love it.
Well, the whole season ties in that way, Kathy. If you think about it, we've touched on music, we've touched on art, we're going to touch on literature as well as a theatrical performance.
That's great. So you guys really have a very full season this year. So I don't know if this is the first time you've worked with the Irving Black Arts Council, but I'd love for you to share a little bit about your experience because you guys seem so excited about this program.
I'm very excited. It actually is my first time working with the Irving Black Arts Council, and it was kind of changed for me because I usually do freelance plays and movies, so to actually condense the entire Black culture and how we've impacted the world in just a little skit was challenging but fun. Got to work with the kids and meet new people.
Yeah, I know, exactly. And make a difference in your own community.
Absolutely.
Which, how many people get to say that they can do that? So I think that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
All right, so tell us when the event takes place, and it's my favorite price, free.
I know. So it's Sunday, February 22nd. It starts at 4 p.m. It's 1 hour with the reception, and I hate to give away the secret, but I have a big mouth. Singlia Academy is doing our culinary arts and stuff. So I'm excited about that too.
Oh my goodness.
So they're feeding us at everything.
Everything. This is great. Do not miss this, people. 4 p.m. Sunday, February 22nd, a 1 hour program and a wonderful reception afterwards.
Yes.
Ladies, thank you so much for being here. We are looking forward to the event.
Thank you.
Back to you, Kevin.
Art, a Profound Impact is the name of the new exhibit sponsored by the Irving Black Arts Council. Kathy talked to the featured artists and brings us this profile.
Expressive watercolors, evocative photographs, elemental paintings, fiber art, and ceramics. The Irving Black Arts Council's 2015 art exhibition reflects the many facets of African American life, heritage, and culture through the work of 3 artists who are as talented as they are distinctive.
Something about that connection stays with you.
Ashley Fry explores those connections through a series of paintings of hands. This painting tells a story very close to her heart.
My mother and my stepfather, they've been married for 13 years now. I actually met him when I was 13, and he asked for my permission to marry my mother.
For an artist, it's not about just creating a pretty image.
I think the challenge was being able to capture the emotion.
She could have focused on their faces, but felt she could tell a deeper, more personal story this way.
When I was working on this, I already had, so many emotions of my own, and so I think it just kind of came across naturally that, these are 2 people that I really care about, and they really care about each other, and I just really wanted to capture that moment.
A personal moment with a universal resonance.
Those images over there from my trip to Kenya in 2013.
A mission trip to Africa rekindled a love of art in this hometown Irvingite.
A lot of people when I was growing up didn't know I was artistic. I played a lot of sports, so they really didn't see this side of me.
You might recognize his name even if you don't know him personally.
My dad is on the Irving City Council. He's also a pastor of Bear Creek Community Church, which is in Irving, and I grew up here.
Dennis Webb Jr. has a passion for sharing his heritage through the lens of his camera.
As far as documentary photography, I think we all, as African Americans, should know where we come from. All we see on television is wildebeest, lions, and giraffes, all the wildlife, but you really never see the people that are over there and how rich the culture is and how beautiful they are. And they look just like you and me. So I chose these photographs to kind of inform and educate those who never been to Africa.
A lesson in shared heritage between people of 2 continents.
I'm inspired by culture, as you can see, and probably...
Beth Ritter Perry is an established artist and teacher whose career has led her to express her creativity in a variety of media.
I've got paintings, I've got the dolls, they're more like art dolls, I've got art quilts, I have ceramics. I work with a lot of different media.
At this stage in her career, she really enjoys exploring the cross-pollination of cultures.
I love to integrate as many different components or artifacts or whatever from different cultures because, in my mind, we're all part of God's palette, man. We're all on the continuum. We're all connected.
This seasoned artist knows the power of artwork to both reflect and influence culture.
They exude a confidence that I'd like for my viewer to be influenced and,
That's the word that I'm looking for, encouraged by.
So the title of this year's exhibit says it all. Art, a profound impact. This is Kathy Whiteman reporting.
Art, a Profound Impact continues in the Irving Art Center main gallery through March 1st.
Photographer Terry Cockrum captures the beauty of the Big Bend National Park in his new series on display in the Dupree Lobby Gallery through May 31st. Here's a look and a list of picture-perfect things to do about town. And here are some other exciting events happening about town. Irving Symphony Orchestra presents A Valentine's Treat, Love Stories from the Movies, Saturday, February 14th at 8 p.m. And your young artist can explore the art of printmaking when Saturday School kicks off the Adinkra Stamping and Printmaking Series on Saturday, February 21st.
The Las Colinas Symphony Orchestra presents Paul Silverthorne on viola on Saturday, February 21st at 8 p.m. And Symphony at the Movies is the theme of the Lone Star Youth Orchestra's concert on Wednesday, February 25th at 7 p.m. All of the concerts take place in the Carpenter Performance Hall, and you can call 972-252-ARTS for ticket information. And that wraps up this edition of About Town. Thanks for joining us.
Please be sure to tune in next time for highlights from a century of Black life, history, and culture, the City of Irving annual Black History Month program hosted by the Irving Black Arts Council.
We'll also check out Friday Night Live and the University of Dallas Juried Ceramics Competition.
We'll leave you tonight with another look at Joyce Spencer's crowd-pleasing performance at the 2015 Martin Luther King Jr. observance. For About Town, I'm Kathy Whiteman.
And I'm Kevin Caskey. Have a great evening.